Rick Boyer, pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church. Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, November 13th. Each time that I come to you for Take a Break, Take a Breath, we look at one of the Psalms as a way of centering ourselves in God, of focusing our lives, because there are so many things coming at us, so many things that need to be done, so many expectations, so many fears and anxieties bombarding us in the news. And so this is an invitation to pause, to stop for a while, to remember that God is the creator of all things seen and unseen, and God is still sovereign over all the world. Today the psalm is Psalm 101, and Psalm 101 is a bit of a challenge to figure out where it may have originally been used. There are some who think, and I think it fits for me as I look at it, that it might have been an oath for a new king, an oath of office, and that then in the time of the exile, when the Psalms were being compiled, this one was turned into a lament or a complaint and a desire for the monarchy to return. It had been wiped out, and a desire for there to be kings again in the midst of all of these psalms that proclaim that God the Lord is king. The verse I want to focus on is verse 2, but I want to use the translation from the New International Version because the Hebrew scholars tell us that this is probably a better translation of the question, which turns this text into a lament. I will be careful to lead a blameless life. When will you come to me? I will conduct the affairs of my house with a blameless heart. When will you come to me is the question. When will you come to me? The kings cry out. The text still is useful to us, even though we're not longing for a monarchy to return. The text of this psalm reminds us that it's not enough to rule according to the boundaries of the law and the policies of government, but that we also, as we lead and rule and exercise authority in life, are called on to think about how we govern, how we exercise that authority impacts others. Not just, is it legal or is it according to policy, but how does that impact others? So I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house, if you haven't already done so, and close the door, if there's a door on the room, and to settle into a chair, and to feel the comfort and support of that chair, and to close your eyes. And breathe deeply. Breathe in the oxygen. Breathe out the carbon dioxide. Breathe in the things that bring life. And breathe out all that separates you from life. Breathe in the breath of God. Breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in God's peace. Breathe out all the fears and anxieties and worries and concerns. Continue to breathe deeply with your eyes closed and allow the peace of God to settle on you. Perhaps imagine it, as we often do, like the waters of a shower that run down over our head and our face. And as they do so, all of the things that have been going by rapidly in our mind calm and slow, and the face muscles relax, and if the jaw has been tight, it relaxes. And allow it to move down that water. Feel it as it moves down into your neck, onto your neck, and soaks deeply into your neck so that the muscles in your neck, if they were tense, they relax. If there were pains, those pains are eased. And then it moves down over your shoulders and your arms all the way to the tips of your fingers. And if your hands have been closed, open them up. Maybe turn them palms up to receive God's love and grace. Feel the calm and peace of that water and of the presence of God as it moves deeply into the muscles of your shoulders and your arms. Maybe it does the work of a nice back massage or shoulder massage. And then it moves down your back, accomplishing the same thing, bringing relaxation to all of those muscles and penetrating deeply into them so that you are feeling the peace and presence and calm of God. Let it move down over your chest, relaxing your breathing even more, calming your heart rate, and over your belly, calming your stomach. Let it move down over your hips and your thighs and your knees and your calves and your feet. Your whole body is in the presence of God. Your whole body is immersed in the peace of God. And then in your mind's eye, imagine that you are being ordained. Ordained means to be set aside for a particular role, like elder or deacon or minister. Imagine that there are people who come and lay their hands on you. And as they lay their hands on you, take notice of where you are. What kind of church is it? Is it Gothic? Is it like Prospect, kind of Romanesque? Is it a little wooden chapel? Are the lights bright? Is the temperature cool or warm? Who's there, laying hands on you, setting you aside for a special purpose, or recognizing this special purpose? Let's put it this way, because this is more accurate. Recognizing the special purpose to which God has called you. And as they are praying for you with their hands on your shoulders and your head, you feel the presence of God come to you. And in that moment, you are transported into the presence and peace of God. And it's as if you are outside of yourself, but you know you are in God's presence, and you know you are still there in the middle of that ordination. You've been preparing for this moment, and in this moment, as God comes to you, there is a conversation about God's call for your life and where God is leading you to live out your discipleship. What is it in this time that God wants you to know? What do you hear God saying? And what do you want to say to God in response? I'll be quiet for a moment. And then as those who are ordaining you finish their prayer, you are aware that you are moving back into your body, and that the time for this being set aside, ordained, is ending. They stand, you stand, they stand, you greet them, they smile and greet you. And then they move back to their places. So you let that image fade away now. And you bring yourself back into the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Well, that's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, November 13th. If you have feedback or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.